20 years ago, one of the greatest consoles to ever released. Xbox 360 Online is still a thing. It is still active. There are many games you can still play. And even if some of these games are very old at this point, we can still play them online. Including Halo 3. Yes, Halo 3 is playable on an Xbox 360 again. This is one of my favorite consoles of all time. And honestly, I'm starting to think that the more I play it, the more I start to like it even more than other things that I thought I did like more than the Xbox 360 at one point. Oh my Jesus, there's another fly in here. Now that it's 2025 and everything is going by so fast now. 2020 was 5 years ago. Tell me things aren't going by fast. I made a bunch of 360 videos already this year. I really did. I didn't even realize it until like actually when I started doing this. This is probably like the 4th video related to Xbox 360 that I've done in maybe like the last 6 months. No matter how good everything was in that generation, if the quality of games wasn't enough, Xbox Live would have been one of the main reasons to own an Xbox 360. And to be honest with you, if I was going to sit there for many hours, which I did, I very much liked it, but there was only really one thing on my mind, besides trying to not run around and just get destroyed by everybody, and that was to be comfortable. So I do need to give a huge thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. You know, a chair is very important. I can't even begin to explain how important it is. As somebody who sits in one every single day of my life for a long time, I need a good one. And this is why I'm very appreciative, big word, to FlexiSpot for sending me over the C7 Max ergonomic chair. As a back pain sufferer, one of the most important things in my life at this point is a very nice backrest, and this has one. It's very comfortable to sit in. It has very nice arm rests. The head and neck rest is amazing. It's honestly so comfortable it wouldn't even be that rare if I just passed out completely in the middle of a gaming session. It's also very cool because there is a 10-year warranty and 30-day return-free policy. That's very nice. You could even check out the C5 chair, which is also in good build quality with basic functions for adjustments as well. I think at this point in time in my life, especially sitting for a long period of time, the two most important things I could possibly have is a nice chair and a very nice desk. The FlexiSpot E7 Plus is just that. Well, it's a nice desk. I don't think that even really made sense. But you know what really is good about this? This can hold over 500 pounds. And not only can it hold that much weight, it is the highest 4-leg standing desk you can buy, reaching 51.57 inches. There's no wobble. That's another thing. Nothing wobbles, nothing moves when you raise and lower the desk. But it's also perfect for just doing basic things like sitting at night watching YouTube videos and just getting lost in the internet. You can even stand and watch YouTube. Watching YouTube standing up. How about that? You can even check out the E7 Premium desk, because there's lots of great options. You could use one of my codes C730 to get $30 off in the description. You could also use my code YTE7P50 for $50 off one of the standing desks. You can check out the links in the description for the C7 Max chair, the E7 Plus standing desk, and many other options. Thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. Xbox Live is still very much a thing. However, it's not called Xbox Live for 360 really at this point, at least like the membership is. Now it can be weird because it depends on what you play, what time you play it. Some games you wouldn't even realize would ever even have a person on it, but if you just go on at the right time, there's actually many people on the game. However, some games are not very active and it's very upsetting. Like, some games are probably more dead than the hair follicles on my 5-year-old hamster. Obviously, the more popular games at the time, like Call of Duty. Gears of War is actually still quite populated, at least 2 and 3. I think mostly on the weekend is the best time to play that one. It is raining so damn hard right now. All I can hear is just shards of water hitting the window. If you weren't really around, like if you were just basically a seed at the time, or I don't know, Probably unnecessary to say, but if you weren't really around in this era, it'd probably be a little bit difficult to find out how important it really was. Something about Xbox Live was just so special. I didn't have an Xbox 360 in the early stages of the console's existence, like 2005 is when this released. I didn't get one until early 2008. It was kind of embarrassing, actually. I probably already told this story a million times, but I was playing PlayStation 3. I had the money saved up somehow by just like begging my mother to mow the lawn. Not her. I did it. And then I would get an allowance every week and then saved up all this money. And I didn't want to even touch the 360. I just went right to PlayStation 3. So I didn't really understand really anything. I didn't have an original Xbox. I didn't really know anything about the Xbox at that point. Like it was something I knew that existed, but it wasn't something where I was really eager to get it. I've never said that word before, maybe. My life would have been completely different, and honestly, that's a true statement, if like 99% of the individuals that I spoke to at the time didn't have a 360. You may be wondering as well, how in the hell? How in the blue hell do we get online? Well, this is a bit different than the last time I did this, because the last time I did have to go through this process of trying to get online on the 360, Game Pass didn't change yet. They changed this whole Game Pass situation. It's kind of stupid. The only thing we need for 360 Xbox Live, the equivalent to what Xbox Live Gold was, I think, back in the day. We just need the essential one, the cheapest one. Used to be $11.99 where I live, now it's more. Go to hell. Like burning it, actually. It's just, this is silly, but this is the only one we need. And I don't know if I'm like doing something weird or something, because I did this 3 times at this point. Every time I went on Game Pass or just went to this and tried to get like online, and I signed up for the lowest tier 1 for Game Pass, it always gave me a month for like $1. I don't know if it's just that's what it is for every new member or something, but if you're interested and that's something that you're interested in, then I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but this is legitimately the 3rd time. And this was before that too, when I did this 2 times previously and this time. I don't know if I'm like scamming the system or something, or if Microsoft or Xbox hears this, they're going to be at my house with sledgehammers or something, but this is the 3rd time I did this. This is probably something you don't want to hear, but unfortunately this is just something that happens. If you are going to do this, you should be prepared to have a large headache by the time it's over. Every single time that I've done this, where I've tried to get back online for 360, it will always tell you something is wrong. It will always tell you that your network is not working, your internet doesn't connect, Xbox Live is down or something. So what I had to do is I had to leave my room. I had to do that. It was very scary and I'll never do it again. But I had to leave my room for 5 seconds. I had to go into the other room where the router was. I had to change the port. Somehow that might work. That was something that I saw like a Reddit thread about or something, that if you... I don't even know if it was about that. If you have multiple ports on your router and there's another option to plug one, if you have an empty port, change it. So once I did that, I went back to my room, back to safety. And once I got back to my room, I plugged the Ethernet cord into my Xbox 360, because it seems like whenever you try to set this up with Wi-Fi, it never works. You have to download your profile if it's not already on it. If you have like a new Xbox or just one you haven't used in forever, your account might not be on it or something. This is where it gets interesting. You need to go on the Microsoft account website and sign in that way. Once you get on the home screen, you scroll down. You scroll down to the very bottom where you see security. It should say something that says protect your account. Now that we're on the next page, it should say account security. Manage how I sign in is the button you need to click. Then once we get to the very next page, we scroll all the way down to the bottom. You should see a section that says app passwords, and you have to create a new app password. This is the password you need to use to sign in, not your old one. This was the most annoying process of all time. I probably didn't even say 80% of what happened. I couldn't even download my account. I couldn't get on it. It wouldn't let me get to that point. It just kept telling me my internet wasn't working. Anything that's older you have to expect is just going to be a pain in the ass, and this 100% was. Now, I think at first when I did this, I didn't see the option to create a new app password. I had to get the Microsoft Authenticator app, and then it seemed like once I did that and made it so that I could like sign in to my account, it just appeared after I went through this long process to turn on two-step verification. I downloaded the Microsoft Authenticator app and I set it up with the email address that's connected to my 360. And after I did all of those steps, then this option appeared. Once you do finally have everything set up, the internet is good to go, it's working somehow, you can play. So now might be time to get to the most important topic of the video that's taking me this long to get to. How active are the games? I can probably think of at least a couple that were definitely the most populated just when I was playing them. I don't even think they were on weekends or anything. Gears of War 2 and 3 I did play on a weekend, and it actually didn't take any time to find a lobby, especially in Gears 2. I don't really remember Gears 3 much because I don't think I played that for that long. I played it for like an hour, and then I kind of just got, I'm going to be honest, I kind of just got pissed off and got off. Everyone was 10 times better than me. Of course, Call of Duty is populated. Not every single one, though. Unfortunately, games like Call of Duty 4 and even Modern Warfare 2, I think Modern Warfare 2 will be more populated on like weekends and stuff, but Call of Duty 4 was hard to find a lobby and like team deathmatch some nights, which makes me very sad. Modern Warfare 2 has those damn hacked lobbies sometimes. That was the only Call of Duty that I played that did have that, though. I didn't notice any other ones that I played where there was like weird lobbies with weird noises and colorful names and everything, where like someone's running around at like 5 times the speed. There was nothing going on for that. I thought that was going to be a thing on mostly all of them that I played. I think at one point in time, Call of Duty 4 was kind of bad for that. Modern Warfare 3 is very populated. You could probably go on that game at any point in time during the week and find people on it. Probably not like 2 in the morning or something, or maybe even then. But it always seemed like lobbies were able to be found quick. It was just kind of random, I thought, that MW3 was more populated than like MW2 and Call of Duty 4. That's just a me thing. I just saw that that was one of the most populated ones, wanted to try it out, and it definitely was. Black Ops 1 is also very populated. But if you like getting your ass kicked, or if you don't like getting your ass kicked, or if you're just good at the game, then Black Ops is still a good option. I didn't play Black Ops 2, but I can probably guarantee you that is very populated as well. That one's probably honestly as or more populated than MW3. I've seen some threads that say that. And the best part about this, at least one of them that I think, is when you play PlayStation 3 online at this point, a lot of the progress on Call of Duty games, for some of them at least, it doesn't save. I think Call of Duty 4 may have been like that, or just, I don't remember which ones, but there was Black Ops 1, I think, 100%. If you got like your PlayStation 3 after a certain point or something, like it won't save your progress in Call of Duty games, or I don't know if it's all of them, it's just definitely Call of Duty that I saw. But Xbox 360, that wasn't an issue. Everything that you did, you could go back on the next day or even like a couple hours later and everything's saved. Now, this is something that I still can't believe is a thing, but Halo 3 and Halo Reach are 100% back on Xbox 360. Unfortunately, it's not just something you can just jump on the game and just play right away like matchmaking or something. There is something that exists called the Sunrise plugin, which if you have a modded Xbox 360, you are able to host Halo Reach and Halo 3 matchmaking lobbies. Now, you can only host a lobby if you have a modded 360, but even if you don't have a modded 360, you can still play. You just have to find a way for someone to invite you or just join their session in progress. Now, you can do that easily, actually, if you join their Discord server, which I will leave a link to those in the description if you're interested in that. And honestly, at this point in time, Halo 3 and... we're spitting everywhere. Halo 3 and Reach... maybe not so much Reach. Halo 3 is still very much active. Like, there's obviously not thousands of people on. But if you go on at a good time, there's quite a few people on. And you can always find someone that's willing to host a lobby. And you just have to go to the right Discord server, and that's how you find out the information. I just can't believe that this exists again. I can't believe that it's 18 years after Halo 3 released, and we're able to go back and play Halo 3 matchmaking again. On the actual console it deserves to be played on. I tried playing the Master Chief Collection. I just couldn't do it. Something just didn't feel right, man. Halo Reach is actually one of my favorite Halo games. I don't know if that's a hot take or something, but I really enjoyed that game, and I really enjoyed being able to go back and play that one as well. I didn't really play Rainbow Six Vegas 2 that much when I had it back in, like, I don't remember what year that come out, like 09 or something. It wasn't 09. That was way past that. It was maybe like 07, 08. This is 100% a game if you go on at the right time. Probably like a nice Friday evening after you make a nice barbecued corn or something, right? Like you put it on the brisket machine, or I don't know. I don't even have a brisket machine. I just said something random. You put it on the oven. You have a nice supper. You go upstairs at a nice time where it's not too late, not too early. You can definitely find people on that game. But again, if you like getting your ass kicked, it sounded like 90% of them knew each other. So I honestly think there might even be a community of people that still like get together and play that game from time to time. It seems like that was the case. And honestly, that was a very nice experience too, because again, I just didn't want to go back and play Call of Duty. I wanted to see what was actually eligible to be played that I would actually enjoy, and that was one of them. This game is actually very hard, by the way. I didn't really remember how hard it was. Like, the controls and everything are just very interesting. Don't just run out randomly, because it only takes, like, Jesus, one bullet sometimes to the head to get someone down. It is 1000% worth going back and playing, though. Like, it's not something where it doesn't feel like it's worth it. It is definitely worth going back and checking it out. You may need some DLC for some of these games as well. You don't have to worry about paying for them or just going to some website that you don't want to or something, download them that way, and then getting them on your account. I don't know if they have any DLC for any game now, at least from like this era, that's like money. I hope not, at least. I really hope they're not charging people for that, but it wouldn't surprise me. I have had that happen to me, unfortunately, in some Call of Duty games, where I think it was in World at War, actually, where I didn't have the map pack, and then it would just kick you out of the game if you don't have the maps up. It's nice to have those if you want to be able to play consistently. It's very weird, because I've even played some games from like not even after the 360 and PlayStation 3 era. I haven't played them for a while, and I go back, and I'm terrible at it. Not like I was ever good. It feels like you haven't played in like a month or something. It doesn't really feel like you've not even played the game for almost 15 years or something. Your hands are moving in ways they've never been. It's a very strange feeling. This is a long-ass time ago. This wasn't just like 5 years ago, even though that is still a long time ago. This is almost 20 years. For some of these games are like 18 years. And you can just pick up a controller and not even feel like many things have changed. It is very strange. I will absolutely never in my life get sick and tired of getting a sick-ass kill in Halo 3. That's just the reality. It's really nice that this just didn't disappear. Like 360 and PlayStation 3 multiplayer just didn't evaporate off the face of the earth or something. And luckily at this point, it doesn't really seem like they're really going anywhere, because more people are finding out about these things. I know it's like one of those things where it's like the common thing to say, where it's like, oh, what era do you think is the best? And you say that one, it's like, oh, of course. Because it kind of is. It was the greatest generation for games that we had. There's no generation, there's no 10-year span that I would like to go back and live just currently and forever in. Then from like 2000 to 2010. The legacy of Xbox 360 is going to be one that if there was ever like a museum built of like legendary things, legendary technology products, if that doesn't exist, it probably does exist somewhere. There has to be a 360 somewhere sitting in that museum. There's just nothing, I don't know, this is probably just time to wrap it up. I can't keep going on about this. I've already gone on about this too many times now. Every 360 video I've made, I've probably ended it off by just going into unholy amounts of detail about how amazing this generation and 360 / PlayStation 3 really was. But very fortunately, actually, that was the case. And honestly, there's just nothing that I would rather do in an anniversary for anything than to go back and play Xbox 360. That makes no sense. Xbox 360 Online, Xbox Live is still a thing. I really hope none of these go away. If these go away at some point, this is sad. Imagine like in 20 years, there's still a thing. Jesus, that's scary to think about, but hopefully that still is a thing. There are still very much good games able to be played, and honestly, there's not a generation where multiplayer exists that's more fun to go back to. All right, I just said I was going to wrap it up, then I started a new sentence. You all have a nice evening.